When we're studying the history of 20th century authoritarian regimes, we often map oppression through political pressures or economic collapse. But in Leonardo Padura's The Man Who Loved Dogs, the devastation of human rights is measured to something much quieter, the steady systematic crushing of a writer's soul. Through the character of Ivan, a frustrated Cuban author living on the margins of Havana, Alvarez gives a voice to an entire generation of intellectuals who were erased from history. Ivan's tragedy is not just that he was censored, but why he was censored.
My thesis is that the Cuban revolutionary state constructed a rigid, hyper-masculine framework built on Che Guevara's concept of the new man that treated intellectual diversity and emotional vulnerability not just as alternative viewpoints, but as effeminate counter-revolutionary threats to national security. To understand Ivan's claustrophobia, we have to look at the historical process known as the parametrización during Cuba's Great Five Years. In 1971, the state established strict behavioral parameters. Anyone who showed traits that deviated from the virile, hardened revolutionary archetype was barred from cultural leadership. Ivan's early stories were condemned by bureaucrats because they focused on individual existential angst rather than collective, muscle-driven labor. As Ivan notes in the novel, his generation learned to internalize fear, forcing themselves to become their own most ruthless censors.
This was a form of psychological castration by forcing writers to lock their true thoughts in drawer. Despite didn't just enforce theoretical compliance, it actively stripped away their right to personal identity and diversity of expression. This creates a direct ideological confrontation between state mandates and human reality. If we look at the parameters next to me, we see the structural class. Here we have Che Guevara's El Hombre Nuevo, the Mimon, which is hardened, stoic, correctivist, art as an ideological weapon, using their human mind to further their state narrative and present hyper-masculine performance. While Ivan's reality of human diversity is vulnerable, sensitive, and isolated. Art is an expression of inner doubt, of reflection, of the true self of the author, and with deep empathy for the marginalized. As scholar Emile Vigil argues in The Cuban Nation, the revolutionary state weaponized traditional machismo as a tool for the national defense. Their core to be vulnerable or to work about doubt was popularized as a structural cat.
This is why the symbol of the dogs, like Ivan's beloved Yaria, is so vital. In a loud, aggressively macho society, caring for a sick, vulnerable animal becomes Ivan's only safe outlet for tenderness. It is a quiet, underground act of resistance against an environment that demands absolute emotional hardness.
Ivan's tragedy leaves us with a profound lesson for the 21st century. True diversity cannot exist if a society only celebrates it in public rhetoric while demanding total psychological and behavioral uniformity in private life. Human rights die the moment a state or an ideology claim the authority to decide what a correct citizen is allowed to feel, write, or love.
Because when you erase the margins of a culture, you don't build a stronger collective, you just leave behind a generation of broken mirrors. Thank you.